They say muscle loss after 70 is inevitable, that the body just can't rebuild like it used to. But here's the quiet truth no one really talks about. Your body doesn't lose its ability to grow. It just forgets how to be fed the right way. Most people think building muscle at 70 needs heavy workouts or piles of meat and eggs. But sometimes it's the simplest, gentlest things, the things nature designed long before modern supplements, that awaken strength again. There's a seed, humble and ancient, that holds a kind of protein your body recognizes instantly. Just a spoon before bed can spark something powerful. The quiet repair of tired tissue, the return of firmness in your arms and legs, the sense that your body still belongs fully to you. Think about it. For years you've pushed through fatigue, shrugged off weakness, told yourself it's just part of aging. You start walking slower, lifting less, sleeping lighter. But deep down you remember how it felt to move freely, not just without pain but with confidence, with steadiness. The truth is, your body remembers too. It's waiting for the right nourishment to reignite that memory. Not something synthetic or harsh, but something your cells know by heart. A protein that doesn't just feed muscle, but restores the rhythm of repair. This seed protein, found in simple, natural sources like pumpkin, hemp or chia, carries a balance of amino acids that rivals eggs. But with one subtle difference, it's easier for your aging body to absorb and use. Where egg protein can sometimes strain digestion, seed protein moves gently, repairing through rest. Take it before bed, when your muscles do their deepest rebuilding, and you give your body exactly what it's been missing. Night after night, those quiet hours become moments of real transformation. And here's the part that surprises most people. Muscle isn't just about strength. It's about stability, balance, even mental clarity. When your muscles rebuild, your posture straightens, your blood sugar steadies, your heart pumps smoother. The energy you thought was gone begins to return, not in bursts but as a steady current that carries you through the day. You stand a little taller, breathe a little deeper, and suddenly the world feels lighter again. For decades, many seniors have unknowingly worked against their own recovery. Late dinners full of carbs, skipping protein before bed, or relying too much on animal sources that the body no longer processes efficiently. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what's right at the right time. One spoon of high-quality seed protein before bed gives your muscles the signal they've been waiting for. You can rebuild now. Over weeks, this small, quiet ritual can bring back tone, stability, and vitality. Without forcing or exhausting yourself, the key is consistency, not intensity. You don't need to push harder. You just need to nourish smarter. Pair that nightly seed protein with gentle stretching, steady hydration, and deep restful sleep. Your body knows how to respond. It always has. You're not trying to fight age. You're helping your body remember its natural strength, one night at a time. So if you've been feeling like your body is slowing down or your strength is fading, start here, one spoon, one night, one choice of care. It's not about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming vitality. Because muscle, energy, and confidence aren't lost with age. They simply wait for the right kind of nourishment to return. Tonight, give your body that chance. You'll be amazed at how quickly it remembers what it means to feel alive again. Number one, muscle loss isn't permanent. It's nutritional memory waiting to be reawakened. They say muscle loss is just part of getting older, but what's really happening is something far more hopeful. The body isn't losing its ability to build, it's losing its memory of how to do it. Every muscle fiber, every cell, carries a blueprint of growth written deep in its biology. When we stop feeding that blueprint properly, it begins to fade, not from age but from neglect. The beauty is memory can be restored. The moment your body receives the right amino acids, in the right rhythm, it remembers. It starts repairing, connecting, and strengthening again, as if an old engine suddenly starts to hum. Inside the muscle, millions of small structures called mitochondria act as power plants, tiny generators that fuel repair and energy production. As we age, they become sluggish, partly because our diets and digestion no longer deliver the nutrients they need. Amino acids, especially leucine, arginine, and glutamine, act like sparks to these sleeping generators. When they enter the bloodstream, they switch on a process called muscle protein synthesis, where damaged fibers are rebuilt and reinforced. It's not just chemistry. It's communication. The body recognizes these molecules as signals of renewal, and the old pattern of strength begins to reappear. Imagine an abandoned garden after years of drought. The soil looks dry, lifeless, almost forgotten, but pour in the right blend of water and minerals, and life responds instantly. Tiny green shoots emerge, roots begin to spread, and within weeks the garden starts to breathe again. Your muscles work the same way. A spoon of balanced plant-based protein before bed gives your body that moisture, a quiet infusion of amino acids that feed your cellular garden through the night. Each morning, repair deepens a little more, and strength begins to return where weakness once settled. One woman, 72, once said she felt her arms becoming empty, like her strength was quietly leaking away. She started taking a spoon of seed protein before sleep, more out of hope than belief. Within a month, she noticed she could lift her groceries without bracing herself. It wasn't magic, it was memory. Her muscles had simply remembered what to do once they were nourished again. That's the essence of this truth. Muscle loss isn't decay, it's dormancy. The potential for strength never leaves, it only waits. And when you feed that potential gently and consistently, the body wakes up, not as it was at 40, but as something wiser, steadier, and beautifully alive again. Number 2. Plant-based seed proteins rebuild gently, not forcefully. When people think of protein, they often picture eggs sizzling in a pan or a tall glass of milk. But for a body past 70, those familiar sources can sometimes feel like too much. Too heavy, too slow to digest, too demanding on a system that simply wants ease. What your body begins to crave at that age isn't more protein, it's smarter protein. That's where seed-based sources, like pumpkin, hemp, and chia, step in. These tiny seeds carry something almost miraculous, complete proteins wrapped in natural enzymes, minerals, and plant fibers that make them deeply compatible with the aging digestive system. They don't push the body, they cooperate with it. Inside your gut, there's a whole ecosystem of bacteria that controls not just digestion, but also inflammation, energy, and even mood. As we age, this microbiome becomes more fragile, easily disrupted by stress, medication, or years of nutrient imbalance. Animal proteins, while rich in amino acids, can sometimes feed the wrong kinds of bacteria or slow digestion, creating bloating, fatigue, or even inflammation that blocks muscle repair. Plant-based seed proteins, however, do the opposite. They nurture beneficial microbes, keep digestion light, and release amino acids slowly into the bloodstream. That slow rhythm of absorption is what makes them so powerful. It mirrors the body's natural repair cycle during rest, providing a steady stream of nourishment instead of a sudden spike. Think of it like watering a plant. Pour too fast and most of it runs off wasted. But let the water drip gently, steadily, and the roots drink deeply. Seed proteins do exactly that for your cells, especially the ones in your muscles and nerves. They supply steady oxygen flow, support mitochondrial energy, and even improve the balance of nitrogen in the blood, the quiet chemistry of rejuvenation. There's an elderly painter named Aslam who once said his hands had started to tremble when he worked. He switched from his usual morning eggs to a night spoon of blended hemp and pumpkin seed protein. Within weeks, his tremors softened, his energy steadied, and his sleep deepened. He didn't just feel stronger, he felt clearer, lighter, as if his body had stopped fighting itself. That's what plant proteins do. They don't just rebuild muscle. They restore harmony between your cells and your digestion, between effort and recovery. The lesson is simple yet profound. Sometimes strength doesn't come from force, but from flow. And nature, through something as small as a seed, has already written the perfect recipe for that gentle, lasting renewal. Number 3. Nighttime is the body's true repair window. Nighttime has always been when the world slows down. The noise fades, the breath deepens, and the body finally gets permission to heal. What many don't realize is that the same stillness that quiets the mind also awakens the body's most powerful repair system. During sleep, your hormones shift gears. Cortisol, the stress hormone that breaks tissue down, drops, while growth hormone rises, triggering a cascade of rebuilding within your muscles. It's in those unseen hours, beneath the rhythm of your breathing, that your cells perform their most important work. And when you give your body the right nourishment before bed, a slow, steady source of amino acids from seed protein, you're not just feeding it, You're giving those repair systems the tools they've been waiting for. Inside the muscle, a quiet exchange unfolds. As you drift into deep sleep, your bloodstream carries those amino acids into the fibers that have been stretched, strained, or weakened throughout the day. Enzymes begin stitching them into new strands of protein, actin and myosin, the core structure of muscle tissue. Meanwhile, mitochondria ramp up energy production powered by oxygen and the nutrients you've provided to fuel the rebuilding process. Without that steady flow of nutrition, the body is forced to draw from its own reserves, slowly losing more than it gains. But when protein is present, repair outweighs breakdown. You wake up not just rested but renewed at a microscopic level. It's a lot like repairing a bridge at night. Imagine workers waiting all day for traffic to clear before they can start fixing cracks, tightening bolts, and laying new steel. They work best when the road is quiet and the materials are ready. Your muscles are those workers, and your nighttime protein is the truck that delivers their supplies. Miss that window, and repair stalls until the next night, another day of slow erosion instead of rebuilding. There's a man named Rahim, 75, who used to feel his legs shake after short walks. He began taking a small scoop of seed protein before bed. No big changes, no workouts, just a nightly habit. Within a month, he noticed something, subtle but real. When he rose from bed, his steps felt grounded, his balance steadier. His muscles had been working all along, just quietly while he slept. That's the beauty of the night. It doesn't demand effort, only consistency. You rest, and your body repairs. You give it nourishment, and it rewards you with strength. It's the most natural partnership there is, your body doing what it was designed to do, as long as you give it the chance to remember how. Number 4, small steady habits build lasting strength. The real secret to rebuilding strength after 70 isn't found in a single breakthrough or a sudden transformation. It's in quiet, consistent nourishment. The body responds to rhythm more than intensity. Each night you feed it protein, stretch gently and rest well. You're sending a message written in biology. Keep building. Muscles, nerves, even bone cells all rely on repeated, predictable signals to know what to do. When those signals come consistently, not forcefully but faithfully, the body begins to adapt. It learns, rebuilds, and remembers, just like a tree strengthening with each steady sunrise rather than a sudden storm of light. Inside your body, this principle plays out in small but powerful ways. Every time you give your muscles amino acids from seed protein, enzymes begin creating new protein chains. These chains need time and repetition to weave themselves into the tissue, a process guided by messenger molecules like mTOR, the body's natural growth switch. But mTOR isn't activated by bursts of effort. It thrives on regularity. A steady supply of nutrients, oxygen, and gentle activity keeps this system alive and responsive. Miss too many signals and the process fades into dormancy again. That's why one spoonful a night can be more powerful than a dozen high-protein meals scattered irregularly. It teaches your cells that repair is now a daily ritual, not a rare event. Think of it like tuning an old piano. You can't fix it by striking the keys harder. You have to adjust it bit by bit, string by string until harmony returns. Your body works the same way. Each small act of nourishment, each night of rest, each mindful movement brings the system back into tune. Over time, those once fragile muscles start to feel more responsive, your steps more balanced, your hands steadier. It's not dramatic, but it's real. Progress that accumulates quietly, like drops of water filling a deep well. There's a retired teacher named Farida who began a nightly routine of protein before bed and short morning stretches. The first week, nothing changed. The second week, she noticed she didn't need to hold the wall to put on her slippers. By the 5th, her morning fatigue had faded. She hadn't pushed harder. She'd simply stayed steady. That's how the body heals, not through urgency but through rhythm. Consistency tells your cells that you still believe in their ability to grow, and they listen. Day by day, night by night, your strength rebuilds, quietly, patiently, beautifully. Until one morning you realize it's not just your muscles that have grown stronger, but your trust in your body itself. Number 5. Strength fuels not just movement, but life itself. Strength at its core is not just about lifting or movement. It's the quiet foundation beneath everything we call living. When muscle fades, it's not only power that disappears. Balance wavers, blood sugar fluctuates, and even memory begins to dull. The body and mind are woven together through muscle, through every contraction that pumps oxygen to the brain, every movement that keeps the heart rhythm steady. In fact, modern research shows that maintaining muscle mass directly supports metabolic health and cognitive clarity, because muscle isn't just tissue, it's a living, communicating organ. It releases compounds called myokines, tiny messengers that travel through the blood, calming inflammation, improving insulin sensitivity, and even protecting neurons in the brain. So when you rebuild muscle, you're not just shaping your body, you're sending healing signals across every system inside you. Imagine your body as a small, quiet town. The muscles are the power stations, generating energy and keeping the lights on in every house. Your organs, your brain, your immune cells. When those power stations begin to shut down, the town dims. Systems slow, confusion grows, small problems turn into bigger ones. But as soon as energy production restarts, as those stations come alive again, the entire town brightens. Digestion improves, the mind clears, blood flows more evenly. This is what strength truly means at 70 and beyond. Not brute force, but inner brightness, the return of flow. There's a man named Yusuf, 78, who once said he felt foggy even on his good days. His doctor told him his blood sugar was unsteady, his blood pressure climbing. Instead of chasing quick fixes, Yusuf began focusing on rebuilding small pockets of muscle through nightly seed protein and slow resistance exercises with bands. Within 2 months, something unexpected happened. His mind began to sharpen, his energy more even, his sleep deeper. He described it like someone turned the power back on. That's what happens when the muscles awaken. The entire body listens. It's a reminder that strength is the root of independence, stability, and peace. A body that moves confidently supports a mind that thinks clearly. A strong heartbeat calms anxiety. A firm step silences doubt. When you nourish your muscles, you're nurturing life itself. Your rhythm, your confidence, your freedom. The body doesn't forget how to be strong. It only waits for you to remind it. One steady choice, one gentle night at a time. The truth is, your body still remembers how to heal. It's just waiting for you to listen again. Every spoon of nourishment before bed, every moment of rest, every gentle act of consistency sends a message of renewal through your cells. You don't have to chase youth or perfection. You only need to give your body what it understands: rhythm, care, and patience. With time, those small, faithful choices begin to build something extraordinary. Stronger legs, steadier hands, deeper sleep, and a quiet confidence that spreads into every part of life. Progress isn't loud. It doesn't come overnight. It arrives softly. In the morning you wake with more ease, in the way your body begins to trust itself again. Start today, not because you must, but because you can. Your body is ready to meet you halfway. If this story spoke to you, stay close. Subscribe and return for the next chapter. Together we'll keep uncovering how gentle, consistent care can bring your strength and your spirit back home.